What's going on, everybody? So this week's video is actually going to be a little bit different just because I was actually sick for the 1 week and then we had Thanksgiving the next week, so I didn't actually get a ton done. And it's going to be a mostly informational video just because I'm tearing apart a twin disc clutch, so it might not be the most entertaining thing out there, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it. And let's roll the intro and just get into this thing. But the agenda for today is we are going to be working on this clutch a little bit here. And I actually already got this little bearing pulled off pretty easy. But my next project is trying to get this thing broke loose, which it has been not coming off very easy so far. So I actually got our little John Deere tractor warmed up because I'm going to try to get this thing slapped on the floor. That way we can try to get a little bit extra torque on this thing. We got the big nut off. Now it's the next part, which is trying to pull this whole plate off. So I got our custom made puller I kind of had to make last time we tore this thing apart. But man, we've been trying to take this thing off before lunch and we couldn't get it. So we're going to try again after lunch and see if we can get this thing popped off now. Well, after fighting this thing all afternoon and not making any progress, we decided we'd just soak this thing and then tomorrow we'll kind of attack it again and see if we can maybe get it off. So we're back working on this thing. We got a different puller set up on here. Actually used some old square type nuts and just to help get a little bit better grip on these things. So we'll see if maybe this one will work now. Oh, well, I think my life flashed before my eyes there when that thing blew off, but we finally got the thing off of there. So yeah, we finally just kind of used our good old little setup here. The old style square nuts, couple bolts, little C-clamp to kind of hold everything together, and she finally popped. Those bolts we used ended up getting a little bit bent there, but man, at least we got this thing off of here. We got the whole clutch assembly pulled out now, and yeah, you can definitely see kind of what is broken right there. We lost all the little, I don't know if it's a bearing or bushing on this thing. Sorry about that. That's our heater going. Don't want to freeze in the shop. But yeah, that thing is definitely toast, and we're going to kind of take everything else apart and check everything on here as well. And then on the inside of the actual clutch housing here, we can kind of see what that looks like. Not a whole lot in there anymore. It all comes off in one big chunk. It's a tapered shaft, so it just kind of slides on here and holds itself tight, and with the little key slot in there as well. So, but the next thing I'm going to actually end up doing is pulling this little grease line out, and then I think I'm going to actually end up pulling this entire shaft out of here too. That way I can check the little bearings that are in behind this plate. So our next step here is we're just going to be pulling all these bolts off, and then I'm hoping the whole shaft and all the bearings and everything will come out this end. Well, it worked. Made kind of a loud noise when it dropped onto the table there, but we got it all apart. Got the shaft pulled out. Our next step is going to be getting this little retainer off of here, so it just spins off. It's threaded onto this piece here, so we're going to have to hold this one solid and then get this guy turned off. So after we got all that kind of taken apart, ready to go, forgot I have to get this piece off of here. So I got the puller on here. I actually got it moved just a tiny bit, but at first it didn't want to pull it off. So what I did was I just took the hammer, I gave it a good smack on the back side of this thing, and that loosened it up enough. So now it should pull off pretty easy. So we got it all pulled apart here now. So those are our two bearings there. We're going to clean all this thing up, check the bearings. Hopefully they're still good. I'm guessing they might not be. But yeah, we'll just kind of see once we get it all cleaned up here though. So we have the clutch all tore down here now. The only other thing we could actually do is get these bearings taken off and replaced if we needed to do that. However, they look like they're still okay. We just kind of checked to make sure there wasn't any pitting. Then we checked their actual little sleeve here too that they run in, make sure there wasn't any hot spots or cracks or anything in this as well. So I think we're going to reuse those, make it a little bit easier, save a couple dollars as well too.